Welcome to Daps Magic, Disney and Positive Stuff. I'm Mr. Daps. And this week, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're calling it the Fives. And this is something that I can't do alone, so I'm enjoying bringing my friend, Mikey Really Likey, who I've been a friend with for a very long time, onto the show. But before we do that, a couple of things to keep in mind. If you'd like to connect with us more and continue conversations you have here or anywhere else on Daps Magic, we'd love to have you over on Daps Magic HQ. You can find us there at dapsmagic.com/dapshq or just hit the big button on the homepage. That'd be great. You can also find us on Facebook, social media, Instagram, all of those things. And of course, YouTube as well. And we'd love to connect with you at any or all of these places. All right, we are going to hop into the Fives, and the way this is going to work is both Mikey and I have a list of 5 things about a particular subject, which I will announce in just a minute with Mikey, that we're going to talk about. So let's get to the Fives, shall we? Well, welcome, Mikey Really Likey. I can't not call you that because you've always been that to me. But welcome to Daps Magic, as you've been here in its previous iterations. I feel like every version of a podcast we've ever had at Daps Magic, you've been a part of in one way or the other. Is that correct?
I think so, pretty much. Well, there's a couple that I was not part of, but majority of them, yes, I have.
I was going to say, you should be in every version because you're one of my favorite people and we've been friends for a very long time. And I always enjoy when we get to hang out in Florida or we get to hang out virtually like this and geek out about Disney and positive stuff, which we both love. And today we are kicking off the Fives, which if this works and people like it, and if we like it, perhaps even more importantly, we'll be doing again. But the topic for today was things we're looking forward to from Disney. And it's a very vague topic because we don't really know exactly how this is going to play out. And, who knows? And we might decide this is insane, but that's totally all right. So I think we should get right into it. And since you are my guest, you get to go first.
Okay. Well, most of my top 5s are park related. That's just where my mind goes.
I did the same
automatically. So, but I think the first one that I put on my list was the promised update to Carousel of Progress, including the animatronic Walt Disney.
And why are you excited about all of that?
Well, first of all, the Carousel of Progress has been needing some TLC for a long time, a very long time. And they kind of started showing the interest in there, updating the seating in the auditoriums and kind of just cleaning up the paint on the outside.
Did they update like some of the sweaters or something in the last?
They did. They changed some of their clothing and all that in the final scene. The animatronics are still very rough, very old. They're barely hanging on, but I'm glad that it's finally getting the attention it's needed for decades.
And what do you think about the Walt Disney audio animatronic coming in?
That's something I've been wanting to have for a long time as well.
Okay.
Even before when I heard
thought about
that.
This before?
Oh, sure. I think that there should have been, even if it was just an audio thing, like instead of like this is Walt's thing, how the narration there now. But I think it would have been nice to have something Walt introducing it as he would have at the, when it first opened. But yeah, having the animatronic there, this in this upcoming iteration would be absolutely fantastic.
I completely agree with you, and that actually didn't make it on my list because somehow it slipped my mind. But it's interesting because we have the audio animatronic of Walt out here for Walt Disney Magical Life in the Opera House, and so we're already a little bit spoiled by getting to see Walt whenever we want to walk in. And I love how it grounds the park to the foundation of Walt and his imagination. And then we've gotten Disneyland Handcrafted recently as well. That's done that as well. Because I think for a while there was a little bit of a shiny new object syndrome almost, where it's like bigger is better. What can we do that's going to scare people more or thrill them, I should say more, or take them to a galaxy far, far away. And all of these things are really great things and showcase the incredible Disney storytelling abilities that they have. But I think also it's really great that the last couple of years are like, hey, let's ground all of this amazing stuff in Walt the Man as well, and
Right.
continue on that legacy and that foundation, because I think it grounds everything else they do, and kind of provides clarity of what they should do and how they should do it. And
Sure.
I really like, I kind of wish I had thought of that one, because that's a great, I wish we knew when it was happening too. Don't
I
you?
know. They've talked about it a lot, but they've never really given us any kind of date of whenever it's going to be happening. I'm hoping it's maybe the end of the year, but
Yeah, why
again,
not?
I'm just speculating. I'm just throwing it out in the wind.
Well, and we do have a D23, what is it, the Ultimate Disney Fan event now coming up this
Yeah,
summer. So maybe we'll get more details then. Like, I could
yeah,
totally see them being like, and we're starting it tomorrow. you know,
right.
uh,
Absolutely.
crazier things have
Uh,
happened. All right. I'm going to
true.
go for the first one on my list. I'm going to stick close to home also. And I'm going to go with the Avengers Campus expansion, which we have been eagerly watching here in California on a regular basis. And
Hmm.
this is going to be interesting because we're getting two more attractions and it's doubling the size of the area. But I think even more so than that, it's doubling the stories and like what you can experience where you're in Avengers Campus. And so we'll
Hmm.
get Avengers Infinity Defense, and we'll get Stark Flight Lab. And I think we'll also get, because of Stark Flight Lab, more like kinetic energy. And so we'll see
Yeah,
things moving, and there's just more space for characters to move around. Hopefully, with that, entertainment will come back. And like, I would love if we got the Avengers Assemble show back, or Doctor Strange and his mystic arts coming back. Like, there's so many things that can be done from these
yeah,
extended stories. And because the land up until now has been so small, when they're working on it, you can't really do as much from a storytelling perspective as you could when it first opened. And so I'm really
mm,
looking forward to, one, the land getting this expansion completed, but two, all of the side benefits that come from this. So like
yeah.
getting the, more character shows and getting the extra, like, I'm assuming there'll be more food or something probably as well. Like, I just think it's, everything's going to win with this once it's finished. And
Sure.
maybe like, I'm going to just do like a periphery thing on this too. I
Hmm.
think even before this happens, there's always a possibility too with new movies that we get new updates. So we have a new
Hmm.
Spider-Man movie coming up later this year, and I'm just going to lump this in with the Avengers Campus expansion. I would
Hmm.
be very interested if Web Slingers got like a tweak to its gameplay or whatever when you go on it that connects or has a nod even to the new movie. Like, I think that'd be super cool.
Yeah.
And the whole keep moving forward thing. Do you have any preference or opinions on Avengers Campus?
Well, here's the thing, because last time I was in Disneyland, it was under construction.
Right.
So, yeah, so I have no experience with that area yet. So, um, hopefully sometime soon I'll be able to get down there and actually experience it and see it for myself, because
I don't know
I've
if
just
I've ever
seen
asked you
videos
this.
and
Are you
stuff.
a Marvel guy?
Oh yeah. Oh
And
yeah,
and then like, who's your
absolutely.
favorite hero?
Oh, that's tough. I mean,
Or you
um,
can go with favorite movie too.
favorite movie. Um, Even though it was definitely a nostalgia fest, it was Spider-Man No Way Home.
Oh, okay,
Um,
yeah,
yeah,
no problem then.
because you know it's just a
The
nostalgia
Spider-Man
fest, really.
movies are so good though. Like the new ones
They
in
really are.
particular.
They really
Like,
are.
I've in general liked most Spider-Man movies, but I feel like they've now just hit their stride and they're killing it. Like, I love it.
Oh yeah.
All right, what's your next one?
So my next one is the Tropical Americas expansion in Animal Kingdom, more specifically including the Indiana Jones yet unnamed attraction. Absolutely.
What do you want to make a guess on what it is? Like
uh,
Mysteries of the Mayan Temple or something?
something. It's going to be something very simple like that. Of course, it
Yeah,
is.
I hope.
Um, yeah, but Yeah, because Dinosaur was great, and it had its run, um, and I absolutely love Indiana Jones at Disneyland. So, kind of getting something that where they're still probably going to be using the same track layout or whatever, but a different adventure to it, I think is going to be quite exciting.
Well, and just to add to that, I've been on Indiana Jones in Tokyo Disney Sea,
Hmm.
and it's amazing for basically being the same ride how different it felt. Like it
Yeah.
felt way more jerky and more adventurous, and I don't know, it felt like a step above what we have at Disneyland. And
Hmm.
you think that was early to like that's a 20-year-old at least ride, I think also.
Hmm.
And this is going to come in and they're going to have new programming, new effects, I assume, the new
Hmm.
story we already know, and also a kind of a new location for us
Hmm.
too, as opposed to what we've seen with Indiana Jones Adventure. So I totally
Right.
agree with you on the fact this one was on my list and it was almost my first one. So it's a good thing I didn't go first. Um,
All right.
but
I know there
but
was
like
bound to be overlap somewhere.
absolutely, especially when we're both kind of parks guys.
Yep.
But I'm super stoked to see the storyline they create for this because I think there's a
Yeah.
lot of potential with that. Like, if I were in charge, there would be a comic book. There would be like the best merchandise, like which I'm sure the merchandise will be coming. But like you could do
Yeah.
a novelization of it. You could like there's so many options that I just think haven't really been necessarily explored completely, for lack of a better term. Um,
Yeah.
Regarding Indiana Jones, because I think the focus has always been on the silver screen or the attractions that exist. And yes, there's been
Right.
young Indiana Jones and whatever, but why not a book? Why not a comic book? Why not a I don't know, like all of these
Yeah.
side things. I'm also very like sticking with the whole tropical Americas thing. I'm also very intrigued by the Encanto ride. I think
Yeah.
that's going to be a lot of fun, and I think the whole area is going to feel more cohesive. What is it, 2027 when this is supposed to open?
I believe so. Yes.
I think so. And to me, looking at the concept art and hearing the stories, all of this kind of fit.
Hmm.
Whereas Dino Land was a little bit disjunctive in some ways because like over here you have the roadside carnival, and then you have the dig, and then you
Right.
have the institute, and like they kind of work to me, but they also kind of felt like they were from different places or
Yeah,
something.
there were two very different aesthetics.
Yeah, and I think the as much as the roadside carnival concept was kind of fun, I think that was the one that didn't work for me the most, just because
Yeah.
where where would it ever happen that next to a dino dig they'd let you put a carnival that could ruin said dino
No,
dig?
exactly. That's a bit strange. Um,
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing all that. I assume as well with this, there's going to be like breakout entertainment or little moments or characters or something that happen also. And
oh,
I think
sure.
one of the coolest things, especially because Florida has that like Indiana Jones feel already with its jungles. Like,
Hmm.
can you imagine seeing the temple, our new Mayan temple in Disney's Animal Kingdom, and then
Oh
you
yeah.
see Indiana Jones walking around in front or
Oh yeah.
on? Like, so cool. I don't think
Absolutely.
we could ask for many better things. Like that,
Oh
that's gonna
sure.
be fantastic. Um, yeah, I can't wait for that to be done. 2027
Absolutely.
is still a long ways away, it seems like, but that's
Yeah.
okay. All right. My turn, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to California because I don't think you're gonna pick this one. Maybe you will. Uh, the Coco attraction coming to Disney California Adventure, which will be back in a basically unused area for at least public facing area of the park.
Mm.
And to me, this has so much potential of being not just a beautiful attraction, which I'm sure because like the visuals in Coco are
Hmm.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
But I also think this could be a very like it'll take you on the emotional journey. And I think some of the best, whether it's a movie, a soundtrack, a ride, whatever, if they can take you on the ups and downs of the emotional journeys where you get the highs and lows of the story, that is like Disney does it the best in, or Pixar in this case, and the thought of doing that on a boat ride sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And like I'm trying to think of, it's interesting how they're kind of leaning back into boat rides now a little bit. When you think,
Yeah.
for a while I feel like they were going away from them, and now we're getting, there's all of the Frozen attractions around the world, and
Hmm.
there's what's the one in Pandora that you guys have?
Oh,
Navi River Journey.
no, yeah, Robbie River Journey. It shows you how many times I've gone to Animal Kingdom
Which,
again.
fair, but
Yeah.
it's a beautiful attraction. and
Oh
and
yeah.
then if if and when the Avatar thing happens out here, that's going to be a boat ride. Like, it's really fascinating that they're leaning back into that boat ride thing. I will be curious if it will be a, like, if we're always on the same level, or if it'll be like Pirates of the Caribbean where you're going down, or maybe they take you up and then bring you back down. I don't know. Like, there's lots of possibilities. um
Yeah.
and just how they tell that story and what music they use and all of those fun things. Do you have any
Sure.
thoughts on the Coco attraction?
I think it sounds great. Uh, I'm interested in seeing like what their decision was in making it a boat ride, because that was
Yeah.
never really an element of the movie. So, you know, it was a choice they made, and I think, hey, they'll make it worth it. I'm sure they will. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm just
So,
interested in seeing
off the
how
top
they.
of your head, what vehicle would you use for a Coco attraction?
That is a good question. I would think probably more like my mind goes to the like that tram that they had in the Land of the Dead.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like the
You know,
trolley
something
tram
like
thing.
that. Yeah,
Okay.
something like that.
Which
That's where
is
my
the
mind
direction
goes.
I was going to, because I'm like, something like Peter Pan where you're hanging and flying. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I could
Yeah.
see that. But I like a boat, a boat ride will be
Sure.
fun. And
Yeah.
I think they're going to do a great job with it. And I will be curious who's, like, what will be the lens we're looking through as we go on this attraction? Like,
Mm,
will it be you're Miguel riding through this story, experiencing this story, or will you just
yeah.
see all of these things and you're kind of like the hidden viewer that just happens to go along, or do they pick one of the other characters that you see it through the lens of their life or afterlife? Um, all right.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Okay. So next on my list is something that's happening in both Disney World and Disneyland,
Oh,
is
I think
the
this is on my list
Mandalorian
too.
and Grogu Smuggler's Run update.
Yes. And
Absolutely.
why are you excited about this?
What gets me excited about this one is because it's delivering on something we expected to happen in the first iteration, which is choice. You get choice of destinations, you get a lot more freedom in the experience. So that way it's not the same thing every single time, you
Mm-hmm.
know? So I think that is that shows me that they haven't forgotten what they had initially told us about that attraction. And they found a way to make that happen again.
Mhm.
And that makes me so excited because it's starting to actually give Star Tours a run for its money now. So,
If not passing it at this point.
oh yeah, absolutely. So that's going to be exciting. That ride is great, but it's once you've done it, you've done it.
Mm-hmm.
And then also giving the engineer a little bit more to do, because I've hated doing engineer, only because like pilot and gunner are fine, or pilot
Yep.
is great, gunner is fine, but engineer, and if you have a bad pilot, your
Then like,
face is
what's the
turned to the
point? Yeah.
side, and so it's like you get jostled around and you can't figure
Mhm.
out what's up and what's down. So, you know, that's
I
that's
think
what I'm
it's
looking
cool
forward
that
to. Yeah.
isn't it right that the engineer gets to choose where you're going to?
Yes,
I think that's such
that's
a great choice. And
yeah.
because it really does, I guess, level the playing field, for lack of a better term. But it'll be
Hmm.
interesting to see, with all of the different variations for this, if there's still a need for Star Tours,
Mm.
because it kind of does take over that place.
Yeah.
And I think they have different like they're different experiences still, and they have their
Yeah.
different niches, I guess you could say. But on the flip side, at Hollywood Studios, Star Tours isn't really by the rest of Star Wars. Same with Disneyland. And
Yeah.
I do have to wonder if, especially at Disneyland, if they're like, hey, we could throw in, the Iron Man thing there, or something completely new. That'd be the real dream, is something completely new that nobody's ever heard of before.
Hmm.
And you do have to wonder if somebody's kind of looking at that space and going, huh, these are now two somewhat similar attractions. Yes,
Hmm.
we can throw stories into Star Tours quicker at this point, but that might change too. I
Right.
do wonder if that could eventually lead to a not needing Star Tours if you can get the same result out of Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. The other
Right.
part of that I'm excited about, beyond just getting a new movie, which I think will be a lot of fun, is
Hmm.
I'm also really looking forward to Our Galaxy's Edge getting the storyline expanded, which was
Yeah.
on my list as part of, I like kind of put all of that together. Um,
Hmm.
just because Galaxy's Edge is a blast,
Oh
but
yeah.
what makes it even more fun is when you see the characters you know and love walking around, interacting with people, people geeking out about them, and getting to see your favorite Star Wars character. And I think that's something
Absolutely.
that they had an idea for, and I think they can now improve on that idea. And as much as it, the new trilogy of characters resonate with the younger fans, one of
Right.
the things I've noticed when we've had like Season of the Force and stuff out here is, like, when we had Luke Skywalker out here last year, I guess. It was fun watching. I'm used to seeing little kids and or younger people running up to characters and being excited about them. But
Hmm.
in this case, and one moment stands out really to me, is I saw a boy, his dad, and what I presume is his grandfather, all excited to meet Luke and getting a picture, all three of them, like three different generations, with Luke
Yeah.
Skywalker. And grandpa was equally excited as grandson, if they were related, like I think they were. And it
Oh
was
yeah.
just one of those moments, like, that's what Star Wars can do, is because, like, most of us, it was a parent or an older cousin or, somebody in our families quite often introduced us to
Hmm.
Star Wars, and it's almost like a
Yeah.
rite of passage for our generation. And I can remember watching it with my dad and family as a kid when it was on whatever TV station it was on before,
Yeah.
before streaming and all of that fun stuff. But it was the original trilogy, and that's really like my
Hmm.
circle, or my core focal point of the fandom comes from the original trilogy. And then
Hmm.
I think the next generation after us, because we're similar in age, probably was that prequel trilogy, which a
Yep.
lot of people came in for that too. And then the other group kind of were like, oh, okay, well, that one's not as good as the original. And then comes the new trilogy, and everybody's like, well, that's not as good as the prequels. And I'm
Right.
sure whatever comes next, they'll be like, well, that's not as good as that other trilogy.
Right.
But we all but we all connect with different characters, and I love that now really all of them are going to be covered, and everybody can have that connection with the Star Wars they love now.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be so fun to watch and experience. But from my perspective, I'm just going to love going in with my camera, taking pictures of the characters, and
Yeah.
seeing these things, these interactions play out with the different eras. And I hope, maybe you don't hope this, you can tell me in a second, that you guys eventually in Florida get an expanded timeline too, because I just think that's so awesome.
Oh no, I totally 100% would love to get that. Um, I think because I feel that those older original trilogy characters do have such a more broader appeal to a larger audience. And I think that bringing that in is going to bring more people in. Because I think there's people that
For
don't
better or
go
worse.
in, yeah, that don't go because they know, well, this is the Disney trilogy and blah blah blah, and I don't
Hmm.
like it, and like, all right, but I think bringing that in would be a way to bring more people in, for for sure.
And how awesome will it be to see Darth Vader walking through Galaxy's Edge?
Oh, it's game over. Like
Yeah,
that's it.
right?
That's it. Yeah.
He's not even my favorite character, but the thought of that just,
Right.
makes you geek out. And Han Solo,
Oh yeah.
like,
Yeah.
super cool. Who is your favorite Star Wars character?
Oh, Darth Vader, 100%.
Oh, okay, so double win for you.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Nice. Yeah, I'm very curious to see how this plays out, and I really hope it's successful because I would love to see this happen in Florida as well. Because I think it'll be awesome. Are you
Oh
excited
yes.
about the new Mandalorian movie too?
I'm on the fence about it. I'll be
Okay.
honest. I loved the first 2 seasons. Wasn't a fan of the 3rd season. So I'm kind of like, there's chance for redemption here. I'll be honest. But the 3rd season kind of left a bad taste in my mouth a little bit.
I'm predicting it'll be a fun ride.
Oh, I'm sure it will. Absolutely.
That's my expectations. Like, I think I'll enjoy it. Will it completely blow my mind? I'm not expecting it to. It might, but
right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't think of a Jon Favreau movie I really haven't liked. So
That's true. That's
from Chef to Iron Man to you name it. Like, he just tends to make good movies.
Oh, sure.
Do you want to go again, or do you want me to go?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and go.
Yeah, you go ahead, because that basically I added with expansion.
Yeah, that's cool. So next on my list is the Villains Land.
Nice.
That is, of course, that's something us Disney World people have been speculating for decades. Something like whether it was its own park or if it was just an attraction of something villains themed. That's something that we've been wanting to have happen for a long time. And when they announced it at the D23, and that was like finally something that we wanted, and so I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're going to be doing, especially after the latest round of news of the changing ideas and new things coming up. So it's like I'm trusting you guys to do this.
Don't you think that's some of the most fun it is to be a Disney fan, though, is when suddenly people care this much about it that they're like, well, no, I heard this is happening, and no, this is happening. And the truth is always, I feel like, somewhere in between. And, maybe the changes happened, maybe they didn't. Maybe they happened years ago and now they're retaken as it happened months ago. Like, I think it's hilarious to watch this play out. And I think we all win because of this, because Disney can tell how high the stakes are, because everybody is in it. Like, I can't think of, like, I'm thinking back, like, people were super excited when they were making Cars Land out here. And that was a big deal. But I don't think it was as big of a deal as Villains Land. Like, I think this might end up being one of those like game change, because Cars Land really was a game changer for the Disneyland Resort, and I could see this being the same thing for Walt Disney World, because we haven't really the sky's the limit, because they really haven't focused on villains like this in the parks, and I predict if it's remotely successful, there is probably some space at Disneyland Paris or Disney Adventure World where they're like, boom, going right here. Because I don't know, it seems like, I don't know, villains and Europe, like, that's where all these villains came. Well, so many of these villains came from, and I'm like, I want to see it in. You know how Fantasyland, it seems like it should come from Europe also? Like, because so many stories. It's the origin story thing. I'm like, I want to see it everywhere. What is one villain you hope you see or experience when you're in Villains Land, whenever that finally opens?
Oh, man. There's so many great villains that could be spotlighted there. I would love to see, of course, Maleficent is going to be, she's just going to be there. It's just, that's going to be, I would love to see maybe some Ursula, maybe Gaston, or maybe this is maybe, gosh, Hades. I could just list them all. I mean, all I could see them all having some kind of presence there. Yeah, I mean, maybe a little bit of Black Cauldron in there somewhere. I don't know, but
I feel like that concept art they originally released,
yeah,
that very much like lent itself to having at least a nod to Black Cauldron somewhere. Because I totally could see that. It is kind of interesting. I feel like sometimes in the more recent films there haven't been as many like outright villains, and you wonder if we're gonna see a pivot back towards more like Captain Hooks or Maleficents or Corellas or Madame Mim. Like let's pick a random one. Like there's so many great characters through the years, and I hope we get some of their henchmen too. Like I want to get some of the helpers and you know, because I just think it adds so much, and that would be a lot of fun to see. I also think it will be very fun to photograph. Like, you know, I love to go in with my camera, and I think we're gonna have a blast. Like I can totally imagine like, hey Mikey, I'm coming to town. Do you want to go to Villains Land and take pictures? And we'll go do our thing.
Absolutely. And another thing that visually speaking, sightline wise, is I'm interested in seeing how it transitions around the Haunted Mansion area.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I want to see. That's what because we're going to have Piston Peak right there. So I'm interested in seeing that kind of visual transition between Fantasyland, Piston Peak, and the Villains area right there.
Well, here's a random question for you. Does Haunted Mansion become like the gateway to Villains Land? Because it really could kind of fit into either land. And so it's a very natural transition.
I'm thinking it will be. I'm thinking because I think Big Thunder is a good stopping point, I think. There will be an entrance through that side, of course, but I think visually Haunted Mansion has that more of that feel than Big Thunder does.
Whatever. Yeah.
Right. So I think that will be the main entrance on that side.
I think that's going to be amazing too. Like I just think like Piston Peak will be interesting and fun and make you happy. But I think we'll really be geeking out about Villains Land, because I think Cars Land has this really defined world with which in it's going to exist. Like we know Cars, we know all of the rules for Cars. Right. Villains Land can go anywhere.
Exactly.
Like, there are no rules. They can kind of, I mean, they're villains. They break the rules.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it'll be very interesting to see how they break the rules. What are the stories they decide to tell? How do they decide to tell these stories? Because they could really go anyway with them. And and then like how scary do they go, or how dramatic do they go? You know, like, and they're clearly going for authenticity too, which was interesting at Destination D23, learning like these research trips they're going on. And I can't wait for it. It's gonna be great. All right, are we at number 5 now? Was that number 5 for you?
That was number 4 for me.
Okay, why don't you do? Oh yeah, because we had 2 that were the same. Why don't we do your number 5 and then we'll do my number 5 and we'll see if they're the same one.
All right. So my number 5 is going to be the well, where'd it go? There it is. It's going to be the Piston Peak area.
Really?
Cars. Yeah. I am actually looking forward to that. Now, I will say that I am saddened about the loss of the Rivers of America, but I
am happy to say we did not overlap on this. Go ahead, talk about why you're excited.
Well, it's the I think it's just because the having something that's more kinetic than Rivers of America was, and Tom Sawyer's Island, sure, you could walk around there, walk around the bridges, but that's really all it was. It was just it was a glorified walking area.
Hmm.
Um, and there, I mean, of course, there used to be a little restaurant there that
Right.
stopped operating long ago. Um, and a lot of the spaces there, especially in like the cave areas and all that stuff, very claustrophobic,
Hmm.
not very accessible to people who might need assistance. Um, so, I think like this will be a much better use of the space, um,
Okay.
and especially the that kind of attraction that they're doing now. I recently learned that it is going to be a tracked um,
Hmm.
attraction rather than like what they teased, like the whole automated thing. That's fine. That's great. It's still gonna be it's still gonna be fun.
I was
Um,
like, whatever it ends
but
up
yeah.
being, it'll be fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that's my number. That's my number five.
Like, I assume that it's going to be the next iteration of Radiator Springs Racers, which is the next iteration of Tester. Like, I
Right.
assume it'll be whatever the spiritual successor of that is going to be. And
Sure.
that'll be fine. Like, it'll be fun. And
Yeah.
I hope they lean into the whole national park from the perspective of the old Disney shorts thing.
Yeah.
Like Ranger Autobahn, like, I think was a great in that concept art. Like, I loved that vibe and that style. And
Right.
I love the idea of it's a really good blending of that classic Disney with the Pixar cars.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a really smart move that visually and even from a feeling standpoint, when we walk into it, it's going to feel natural there. Because I think a
Yeah.
lot of people might have been concerned when they hear cars,
Right.
oh, is that going to feel right in there? And if you
Yeah.
kind of lean into that classic Disney old school, Humphrey the
Mm-hmm.
Bear, put it in the bag, bump, bump
Right.
thing, I think people will be happy with that. The thing
Yeah.
I'm very curious about, and I'm sure they've thought about this, but you and I've been to Cars Land.
Yeah.
You hear the cars racing by
Oh,
every
sure.
20 seconds, minute, whatever it is. And
Yeah.
I'll be curious if I guess I'm curious how loud, because you hear it in Epcot too from all over the place from Test Track. Like, I will be
Yeah.
curious if you hear that, or do you hear the waterfall kind of thing, or is it a mix, or like, and this is not
Yeah.
the end of the world. It's just me being a nerd. And,
Right.
but I think there's a lot of possibility to make something visually stunning, which
Right.
you look at what they did in Cars Land, you got good reason to think so. I
Mm-hmm.
think it also, in some ways, will hopefully connect with the story that's being told even more in Frontierland. That's
Mm-hmm.
kind of gotten a little bit muddled because like Tiana's uh, Bayou Adventure is kind of one thing, and then you've got Country
Right.
Bears, and then you go into Liberty Square, and this might be kind of a
Mm-hmm.
way to kind of like bring all of these different things together, hopefully, and
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to
Yeah.
see. I think you're right, and I actually thought of this one, but I wasn't sure how much of a sore spot that was. So,
Mm.
I was like, I'm gonna
Oh.
skip that one.
Yeah.
All right, my fifth one I thought was gonna be one of your five, and I almost didn't put it because of this, and that is Muppets Rock and Roller Coaster, which
Ah.
will be opening this summer, and I feel like anything that we get that is Muppets is a win, especially after
Mm.
losing Muppet Vision on both coasts. Yes, we're getting a
Yeah.
VR version, it sounds like, but
Mm-hmm.
I just think the more Muppets, the better. I loved the new Muppet Show. So I hope we
Mm-hmm.
are entering a new era of vibrant Muppets, if that makes sense. Like, I hope this is an
Yeah.
era where they really thrive and are loved and beloved. And, who knows, maybe this becomes such a big deal that you get another season of Muppets Mayhem, or hopefully more episodes of The Muppet Show, or even just more Muppet merch, because you can never have too much Muppet merch, in my opinion. Like, I don't buy a
Right.
lot of merchandise from Disney, but when there's good Muppet merch,
Sure.
there's
Yeah.
no stopping me. Like, you can't stop it. How, if they made Muppet bow ties, I already have like 4, but but what's 4 more? I buy them all. But
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to more Penguin audio animatronics, a Scooter audio animatronic. I would love a surprised Kermit the Frog audio animatronic. Like, give it all to me. Like, I can't wait for this. I think it's going to be a great way to bring the Muppets to a new generation too, and help them realize how. I mean, it's kind of like what we were talking about with Star Wars, and Disney has this fine balancing act all the time of keeping current fans happy while making sure there's new fans coming in, so that what the current fans love can still exist, because we all eventually do drop off of the planet. And so you do kind of always be having to add to that fan base. And so I really hope this is a way they can do that. And I really hope it ends up being as awesome as it sounds like it's going to be.
Yeah. I can see it being pretty interesting. Now, Rock and Roller Coaster was never really a ride that I could do. That kind of a coaster does not agree with me. So I've gone through the queue numerous times. And that would be interesting to see the Muppets and how that they what they bring to the attraction. I'm not going to ride it, but I'll go through the queue and see what they do.
Do they have a version of it like, so a couple of the attractions out here for people that can't go through the entire thing, they'll have like a room to the side where they basically do a video version of the attraction. So like, I'm thinking Submarine Voyage is one of them. And then also our castle walkthrough, because not everybody can do the stairs. Do they ever do that like that in Florida?
No, they don't.
Okay. Cause I feel like
up for this.
Listening to you talk, I'm like, that totally makes sense to me. Is you walk through the queue and then you hang a left and you get to, watch what would happen if you continued straight or whatever. Like, I don't know.
No, it's just go through this door, follow this hallway, and it takes you to the unload area. Okay, cool. Thanks. See ya.
That was great.
Yeah.
Good queue. Good haul.
Right. Yeah.
I hope they do something like that, because I think that'd be super cool.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the queue will be fantastic. Like, to me, half of the attraction will be the queue, just because when you're zipping through, it's hard to see everything anyway. And especially for those of us that have to take our glasses off in the dark. But but I think it'll be a blast. Did you have any honorable mentions or things that almost made your list? I didn't warn you that I was going to do this.
Yeah, no. I think the next one would definitely be the Monsters Inc. Area in Hollywood Studios. Rest in peace, Muppet Courtyard. But it was either that or it was the animation area. That was another honorable mention there as well. The animation pavilion, just for the nostalgia of it, because that's what that was. That was an animation studio.
Once again, that's a good way to revitalize a classic area of the park.
Yeah,
I agree with you completely.
So those were a couple of the ones that could have been made on the list, but we're just below there.
So I'm going to give you one more that was almost on my list. And that is the new Tomorrowland at Tokyo Disneyland, because that new Space Mountain looks epic. Like, I love how they've reimagined the look and feel of Tomorrowland while still feeling like Tomorrowland, which is something that I think has eluded Disney pretty well for a very long time.
Yes.
and I'm like, I am so excited for that. I think that's next year too, when it's going to be done. And I can't wait to see, what does Space Mountain look like? What does the area look like? Because I think they went from, in some ways, the oldest looking Tomorrowland to now they're going to have this vibrant, like, it feels like it's from the future to me when I look at it. And I can't wait to see this completed. So that's the one I'll add for my honorable mention. I think I probably had others, but now I'm forgetting them. But anyway, thank you, Mikey, for hopping on for our first of the fives. Hopefully you at home have enjoyed us going through our fives, and we'd love to hear what your fives are as well. So let us know in the comments or on social media or at Daps Magic HQ. We'd love to connect with you at any of these. We'd also love it if you'd rate this podcast so people can find it, share it with your friends that would also enjoy these conversations, because it's always more fun doing these together, I think. That's why we have Mikey here. But we hope you're having a fantastic week. Thank you, Mikey, again for being on Daps Magic, Disney, and Positive Stuff. We can't wait to do it again.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. But for now, we're going to say, make it a great week, everybody. Keep kind and stay positive.